You have no idea how excited I am to be making this video right now. Hello, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new, my name is Tanae. I have not been on YouTube for a while, and I am so excited to be back. I had to take just a little pause of doing the full-length videos for a little while, but now I am back, and I am so excited about today's topic. We are going to be reviewing the Colleen Hoover It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us book series. And honestly, I'm just super excited to sit and talk to you about it. Like, I'm hoping that I can keep my thoughts all together because I have so many thoughts and so many feelings towards this book series that I really hope that I can get through this video with you guys with my thoughts on track. So starting out, I will say that this is the first Colleen Hoover book series or books that I've read from this author. I used to be a big time reader before I had kids. And then after I had my kids when they're little, it's really hard to find the time to read. And so I'm just slowly getting back into the reading and into the books. And this was one of the books series that I decided to start with. And so I picked this up. I had seen it all over the internet. I'd seen it on the bookshelves. I have seen it on social media, but I never really looked into what the book was about. I just kind of assumed that it was like a love triangle book, like a romance book. And so I thought, well, I'm going to give it a shot. And I went and got the book. This being said, I do think that Colleen Hoover could be one of my favorite authors. I say that lightly because I am just getting back into reading, and these are the first books that I've read of hers. But the way that she can captivate your attention, the way that she can make you feel the emotion of her characters, I just love that. I absolutely love that. And so I know that I'm going to be trying more of her books, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see how they are. So if you know nothing about this book and you're watching this video because you're like, I want to go out and buy this, but I kind of want to know what it's about, I'm going to tell you right now, I think that the book was so much better for me because I had no idea what was going on in the book. Like, I just assumed that it was a love triangle type situation in the book. I didn't really read into it. I didn't read the about on the back. I just had seen it so many times in the stores that I decided to go and pick up the book and just give it a try. And because I did that, I think that the shock value of some of the events that occur in the book were that much more impactful because I had no idea where this was going. And so you find yourself relating more to the main character. You kind of understand her thoughts and why she does things, and I will get more into that later on in this video, but it's just such a good read. And if you don't know anything about it, that's how I recommend going into the book, is not looking anything up and just going and giving it a shot, because I feel like it will make that much more of an impact on you liking the book. When I did get the book, I started reading it and I was already hooked into the chapters, into the characters. I could tell by the way that the author wrote that I loved her writing, and I was easily going to be captivated by this book. But then I mentioned it to my sister-in-law that I was reading it, and she goes, "Oh, I heard that was sad." And I was like, "What? I didn't want a sad book." Like, don't tell me it's sad. I'm already invested in these characters. I need to know what's happening. And I think that almost drove me more to like figure out why it could possibly be sad. But it definitely didn't take any of the shock away from the events that happened, because I still did not see it coming. I did not see some of the things coming in this book. Okay, so if you are here and you haven't read the book yet, I am about to do some spoilers. I'm going to kind of go through the book and tell you what it's about. So shut this video off, go get the book, read it, then come back and let's talk about it, because I can't wait to talk with you about this book because it's that amazing. All right, so we're going to go into It Ends With Us. This is a book about Lily. Lily is she came from an abusive home as a child. Her dad was really abusive towards her mother, not necessarily her, but he was abusive. She had a point in her childhood where she had like a boyfriend / best friend / supporter, someone that went through the stuff with her. He was actually a homeless kid, but you get to learn about him through her old journal entries, which I thought was really unique. I thought that was unique how the author brought that in. And I thought it was funny how she wrote Ellen DeGeneres. That's how she did her journal entries, was Dear Ellen DeGeneres. And then she would go into telling about Atlas, who was her boyfriend, friend, childhood friend at a young age. I think she was like 15 when they met, turned 16, and I think he was like 18. But anyways, it starts off with her actually meeting her future. I mean, she's grown up now. She's in business. She's living in Boston. She meets this guy on a rooftop named Ryle, and he has like a different perspective on relationships. He doesn't really want one, but they just automatically click. They sit on the rooftop for a while and just kind of hang out and get to know each other, and then they go their separate ways, and then later on they come back together, and it just happens that they have all of these times that bring them back together. And so like half of the first book is all about their love story. Like you're getting to know them, they're coming together, they're building this love story, and then she will periodically read journals from her past. Well, in the book, the first event of abuse happens, and like when the first event happened, like the first abuse situation happened, I honestly was so shocked by it. Like I did not see this coming, and I felt like I related to the character. Like I was just like her. Well, maybe it was an accident. Maybe he didn't mean to hit her. Like you start sympathizing with Ryle because in the book, he's just like this amazing guy, and he's a neurosurgeon. I didn't mention that. He's a neurosurgeon, and he's got all of these positives in his life, and he just loves Lily so much. And so you're like, it had to be an accident. That didn't happen. Like, what? So you're so confused, and you're conflicted. Your emotions are just like Lily's in that situation where she knows it was wrong, but then she starts questioning it. Like, well, you know, maybe it was the situation and this won't happen again. And so you're just as shocked. And I don't know, I felt like the author really made it easy to relate to that, and made it really easy where if that happened, that, you know, you do excuse it. But then the second time I was like, oh no, heck no, you need to leave this guy. He is trouble. What are you doing? And I instantly grew hate for Ryle. I did not like him. I wanted to because of all the sweet things he did in between these abuse situations. But I hated Ryle. I wanted her away from him so bad. I wanted her to go to Atlas. I did not like Ryle whatsoever. But the story goes on about how she keeps forgiving, and then she finally has like her last straw. It talks about how she leans on her mom for support, how she leans on Ryle's sister for support. She's really good friends with her. It talks about the different the way she escapes it, the way she chose how to leave, how she gets her life on track, and then later down the road she runs into her past love. I really just enjoyed this book. Like, I read it so stinking fast, and then when I finished this book, I ran so fast to Walmart, and I was so lucky that, because this book came out in 2016, never even heard of it, just kept seeing it on the shelves. Didn't know if it was really good or not. I'm lucky that I started reading it in October, because then this book came out just this month and this last month, and I was able to just run straight to the store. I didn't have to wait. Like everybody else who was so into this story, I didn't have to wait. I can just run to Walmart and get this next book and read it. So I feel really lucky, because I'm not a patient person. So I ran to Walmart and I finished this book, like, I think within 48 hours. I think from the time I bought it, I was already halfway through by that evening. Like, I bought it at 3 in the afternoon. By that evening, I was halfway through the book. I had to know what was going on. So this book kind of follows Lily still, but then every chapter it alternates, where it's Lily's story or Lily's point of view to Atlas's point of view. And so you kind of get a behind the scenes of what's going on in Atlas's life and how he feels about Lily and the things that he hasn't encountered. And I really enjoyed that. I also loved in the book that there's like this 12-year-old boy that is his therapist, and he makes the book for me. Like, there were so many times that Atlas and Theo would have a conversation and I would be rolling, like laughing out loud, because they were so funny. So I loved that part of the book. I will say the only negative that I didn't like about this book is, one, they would repeat the journal entries that I already read in the first book. So a lot of the times I was like, I've already read this. And then in the second book, Atlas will write Lily love letters. And although that's very sweet, I would have rather the author took the time to just like have something intimate with them. Like maybe, I don't know, like towards the end of the book, they do get married. Maybe talk about the marriage. I don't know. I just felt like I could have done without the love letters and the rehashing of the journals that we read in the first book. So that part I didn't mind. I didn't care for, but it didn't change my opinion of the book. I still think it was really good. I still enjoyed it. I loved getting to know Atlas's story and then finding his little brother so that he does have some sort of family for him. I thought it was really good. Okay, real quick, I'm going to give you guys a lowdown on the different characters. The main character is Lily, and when she starts the book, she's a businesswoman, and then she slowly decides to buy a store, change it into a flower shop, and that is when her business, Lily Bloom, is born. And so then she runs a flower shop, which she always enjoyed gardening when she was younger, and so it just makes sense for her to open up this flower shop. Then you have Ryle, who is a neurosurgeon. He has his mom and dad and his sister, but he also had a very dramatic past. When he was younger, he accidentally shot his brother, so he has a lot of demons that are plaguing him in the future. And then we have Atlas. Atlas is the homeless friend that Lily had when she was younger. He was homeless. He took off to Boston. He went there for an uncle. He told Lily he went there for an uncle, but you find out in the second book that he didn't. He went there because there was more opportunities for homeless shelters and stuff. And then he went off to the military, got his cooking, got into cooking. Then he came back to Boston, opened up a restaurant, opened up a second restaurant, finds out he has a little brother that's like 12 years old named Josh, and you get to hear that story through the second book. So that is kind of like a laydown of the characters. Lily's dad died of cancer. Her mom actually moved to Boston to be closer to her. You will actually get a feel for them building their relationship too. And then, let's see. You have Ryle's sister, which is Alyssa. They call her Issa in the book a lot of the time. And she is Ryle's sister, but she's also Lily's best friend. And they just click, and she helps her through a lot of the trauma that happens in the book. So that's kind of a character lowdown for you, so you kind of know about the different characters. You will fall in love with Atlas. I did. I fell in love with him. I loved his character. If I was going to give these a rating out of 10, I would probably have to say a 9. I will definitely reread this. I am hoping that it becomes a movie. I did see that they are doing a storyline to it. I don't know if anything's going to happen with it. I would love to see a movie come out in 2023. I'm guessing the earliest, though, would probably be 2024. But I really hope that we get a movie with this book because it would make an amazing movie. If you are watching this, you've read this book, you love this book, let me know in the comments your thoughts on the book. Let me know who you would want to play like the characters. Like, who would you want to be Atlas? Who would you want to be Ryle? And most importantly, who would you want to be Lily? So yeah, I recommend this book. Go check it out. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified when I post my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.